What's up everyone, it's Adrian from Adrian's Awesome Accumulation, and today we're going to be taking a look at the number 57 Manhunter Ground Armor, which you can see before you, which I've customized to look like Blastoise because he just does. Alright, so let's get started with the box art. Alright you guys, here we have the box art right here, and as you can see it's kind of just plain. It's just like a product shot of the model kit right there. Right here we got his name, the number 57 Manhunter Ground Armor right there. And on the side panel right here we got the front view, back view, which you can see it opens up and you can put like a turtle pilot right there, so that's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. And over here we have like just like all the features that he comes with, right? All like the cool stuff that they're like showing off, like his cannons, his blades, and like all this cool stuff that he can do right here. And as you can see, he opens up, so he has a lot of articulation, a lot of like places like armor plates that open up and stuff, so he can like shoot stuff, so that's pretty cool. Over here on the side we just got another product shot, basically what's on the top of the box. Over here we have everything it comes with, so it's just basically the 3 turtles right there. It's not right there, they show the 3 painted ones, but he also comes with 3 unpainted, so you can paint them to look however you like. And over here, not much. And on this side, it's just the same. Alright, so there is the box art. Let's get that out of the way. And let's take a look at the model kit right here. Alright, so here we got a close-up look at the model kit, and this guy is really cool. I really like this model kit. It is super cool. It's super, it's not so big. It's kind of like 5 inches tall, I think, but it's pretty, like wide and kind of like bulky and kind of like hefty and stuff. So yeah, it's just like he's big, like it has big parts, so it makes him look really cool. And he really stands out as a shelf display. Like once you like finish him up, you're gonna put him on display, he's gonna look super awesome because yeah, he's just so big. So here we have like his arms and stuff, and he has articulation on his arms. So right here, right, you can't go all the way up because his armor and stuff, but like the motion that he does have, it's pretty good, right? So you're not going to be moving him a lot because he is kind of like bulky, so you're not going to get like super different kind of posability out of him, but he just looks so cool. All right, so here we got arms right here, right? His legs, they can go up pretty much around and stuff like that, so you could get him doing some crazy like splits and stuff like that, so that's pretty neat. And then his head right here, his mouth does close, so you got that. And then you could move his head up and down, and then it is articulated and stuff, so you can move him around, make him look different angles and stuff like that. And his plates right here do open up and they do close, so like this one, yeah, so right there you have it closed and then they open up, right? And then you got his like kind of like core, his body core right here, so that's pretty neat, which I painted like green and stuff, and then silver, and then silver right here I painted, so that's pretty neat. He got these kind of like plates up here that close and open up, so you got that. And these things are kind of like little machine guns, I would think, or some like little turrets right there, which I didn't paint because I thought they were just like piece to connect this, but like I'll go and paint that later. Over here it's not kind of painted either, so because I thought it was gonna have it closed, but I'll just go back and paint that later. It's no big deal. So there's that. You got the cannons right here on his arms, right? And these can be taken off. And let me see if I can get it off. This can be taken off, and then you can put it this way and have his like blades come out a little bit, so you can have him like, yeah, getting ready to like slash someone, I guess. But yeah, so that's cool. His hands right here do have a little bit of mobility, but his fingers are articulated, so that's cool, as you can see. So you can have him throwing a punch and have his fingers closed, so like maybe he can just like punch and like stab something with his little like wrist blade right here, so that's pretty neat. And the shoulders up here are articulated as well. You can get them like down if I move his hand down, but yeah, anyways, you can kind of get him tilted up, looking forward, right, and then down like that. And then this part right here, I did paint silver with a little bit of green up there, and a little turret on the bottom of the shoulder, so that's pretty neat. And then, like again, I said, his mouth can open, and he does have, you know, a cannon in there, which I moved up. So let me get back down a little bit. This one, the cannon inside his mouth is a little bit hard to move, but like, yeah. So there you have that right there. And I did paint this silver and a little bit of blue right there, so I can shoot like water jets and stuff like that. So that's pretty neat. And he does have his cannons right here on his legs, and these are also, you can like move this up like so right there. You can have that covered and put that back down. See, it lifts up and it lowers down right there, so that's pretty neat. And then to get the cannon back, you just lift it up and bring this little piece down like so. Hold on, it's not going down anymore. Hold up. Oh, I think because I have to move it. Well, anyways, I'll figure it out later, but yeah, you can get it back looking like this. So there's that. And then on the top right here, you have his shoulder cannons right here. So that's pretty cool. This is the whole reason I wanted to make them like a Blastoise custom, so that's pretty neat. And then you got like the little orange clear pieces right here, which is pretty cool, and for the eyes. And on the back right here, on the back, you know, I kind of painted this blue because, you know, I thought like all the pieces that I painted blue were black or like a like dark brown color. So I thought like, you know, all these pieces are going to be blue because they're basically going to be his, like, you know, his arms and his legs and his head. But some of the pieces turn out to be like the shell pieces, so that's why these are blue. I wanted to paint them all brown, but, you know, it is what it is. So these parts I painted brown, and this is blue. So it's not like, well, it's like, you know, his own kind of turtle shell. So I did paint some areas green just to bring it like a little bit more color. You got his tail right here, which is articulated. You can move it up and down, and then like these little like silver joints right here, you can kind of move these like separately, like so, as you can see. And yeah, it moves up and down, but excuse me, but you could also like twist the tail, so there's that. So that's pretty much it. Oh, his back right here does open up. You can get it like that, and then you can have this moving up. And as you can see, you have the little turtle pilot right here. Right here, I kind of painted it to look like I use like this like snapping turtle. Let's see if I can clear it up for you guys. There we go. I used the snapping turtle. I painted it like a little small Blastoise type of color. I think it came out pretty all right, and I kind of like gave him the same color as like for the shell right here, because I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna give him the same color. So there's that. So yeah, you just put this guy in the back right there, and I guess he's controlling the mech kind of with his mind, right? Because, you know, he can't stand up on his hind legs, but that's pretty neat. I kind of like that they have a cockpit for the little turtle right there. So you just close that back up, and that's hidden. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. This guy is great. I really recommend this one. You know, you guys can do your own like custom, you know, paint job on him and have him maybe look like a Ninja Turtle or something else, or something, you know, entirely different. So that's pretty cool. I do recommend this guy. He looks great on the shelf. Again, like I said, it's big and bulky. It's pretty neat. So yeah, I'm gonna put this guy right here, and I'll show you the accessories in a bit. All right, you guys, and here I'm back with the accessories. As you can see, it's not much. We got the 3 painted turtles right here. This is the snapping turtle, the painted one it comes with. It's kind of green and has black, right? They did a better paint job than I did, but yeah. So that's it's pretty cool. So this is like the snapping like turtle dragon right here, and then we got like this brown colored tortoise that it comes with. You know, kind of earth looking, right? This one, you know, is kind of like the second, you know, like one that it comes with. So there's that. And then there's the first little guy right here, which is a smaller, you know, like just normal turtle right there. Again, they have like these green earth tone, you know, like ground colors, because he's supposed to be ground armor, right? I changed him to more like a a water type armor, making him a Blastoise and stuff. So, but that's pretty cool. So we got that one, and then we got the unpainted tortoise right here. You guys can paint up to look however you want. And then the small one right here. And it's cool that they give you like 3 of them, right? Because you know, 3 unpainted versions for these guys, because like this one can be, you know, like the way I customized them to look like Blastoise. This one you can paint to look like Squirtle, right? I mean, Squirtle is kind of this type of turtle. And then this one I would think, you know, would be like the War Turtle version, but this guy does not look like a War Turtle at all, you know. But maybe if you give him like little wings or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I just think he's kind of big, bulky, and slow. This guy, however, does look like, you know, a Blastoise, just being like big and like strong and stuff, whatever, and stuff, you know, like a big, bulky like turtle, which this guy does look like, you know, like if it was like a realistic Blastoise, he'd probably be like a snapping turtle. Anyways, there's that. So those are the accessories, and I'll be right back with some poses. Pose 1, looking for a fight. Pose 2, mighty roar. Pose 3, mecha turtle dragon. Pose 4, powering down. Pose 5, all out assault. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's the review for the number 57 Manhunter Ground Armor done and complete, my Blastoise custom. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you guys did, please leave a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I really enjoyed this one. I recommend you guys to get it if it's still available. You will not be disappointed. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Bye, and God bless.